Next news. Breaking news from the White House.
4 days before June 14th, agents uncovered a White House sniper drone plot. Let that sink in. 4 days before Trump's UFC Freedom 250 event, the cell had already been stockpiling firearms, ammunition, body armor, explosive drones, communications gear, even medical equipment since May. That's not trash talk. That is preparation for slaughter, and DHS just dropped the detail the media will try to bury. The ringleader was an illegal alien. 8 men now charged. President Trump, JD Vance, Elon Musk, Netanyahu, all on the target list. Stay with me because the sniper assignment that was tied to Chandler D. Skaggs takes us from chilling to absolutely monstrous. Drones, armed with explosives and firearms meant to shoot people fleeing in the crowds. Okay, that was the FBI's description of the attack plan at the White House event that Trump held on June 14th. Now outside some abandoned warehouse. I'm talking about the White House. And now I want you to feel how ugly this gets. Prosecutors say that these 8 men built 2 conspiracies. One, to provide material support for terrorism, and another, to murder federal officials on federal ground, including the president and vice president. That means Donald Trump and JD Vance sat in the crosshairs while the same political class that smeared Trump supporters as the danger spent years flooding this country with chaos. Then DHS names the ringleader an illegal alien, and suddenly the whole open borders racket blows up in their faces. You and I were told to fear parents at school boards. Meanwhile, radicals were stacking ammo, explosives, body armor, and drones for a mass casualty strike at the White House. That lie just cratered. 4 days before that White House event, America learned how fragile recovery gets when systems break down. And that hits your body too. Think back to the last time you felt truly recovered. Jonathan Otto and Red Life built a medbad hack around a cellular energy focus. When mitochondria miss the right frequencies of light and the right electromagnetic environment, you get less energy production, slower recovery, slower repair. Their clinically studied wellness technologies combine red light therapy and PEMF with specific wavelengths to boost cellular energy production and support natural repair processes. Gentle electromagnetic pulses back circulation, recovery, and function. You get 10 clinically studied wavelengths, advanced dual chip technology, up to twice the power, 30 minutes a day, right from home. Go to medbedhack.com, linked below. Use code NNN30 for 30% off bundles, NNN25 for 25% off individual devices. America needs strength. Chandler D. Skaggs, Viper of the SOG, stayed in after travel plans collapsed. Now that one detail stopped me cold because it tells you this cell was not bluffing and not backing off. One of the alleged snipers still stayed committed even when logistics blew up. You hear that and you know intent locked in hard. This wasn't online cosplay. This was a kill plan aimed at Trump's event. And when we pull up the posts and the charging details, watch how the illegal alien angle and the target list rip straight through the media's favorite excuses. 8 men are now facing murder and terrorism charges in connection with the alleged plot to carry out sniper and explosive drone attacks targeting the White House event. Breaking news.
Breaking tonight, 8 men in total are now facing murder and terrorism conspiracy charges for their alleged roles in a thwarted drone and sniper attack on the UFC cage fighting show staged at the White House last month. Today's indictment charges all 8 in 2 separate conspiracies. The indictment says the plot began in May when the group began amassing money, firearms, ammunition, body armor, explosives, drones, and medical equipment. There was also communications equipment and other items. Law enforcement officials learned about the threat just 4 days before that White House event.
So the first report lays out how close this came to disaster. Next, the indictment names all 8 suspects, shows how far the cell had spread across the country, and reveals the high-value targets they were allegedly hunting. 8 men indicted. So we have, let's see, indictment returned July 9th in Columbus. Abraham Alvarez, Daniel K. Eskridge, William L.S. Faulkner, Tyson Proper, Jordan W. Rinker, Brian O'Roa, Chandler D. Skaggs, and Michael A. Thomas with conspiracy to provide material support to terrorists and conspiracy to commit murder on federal territory against a federal official. Suspects lived in Nebraska, Missouri, Washington, Ohio, California, and West Virginia. 5 were arrested during the event weekend, 2 more following the week, and Skaggs in West Virginia this week. Skaggs, allegedly one of these snipers, stayed willing to join after losing contact with Proper. The group used chat apps including Signal, SimpleX, Discord, TikTok, and Instagram to prepare. They targeted high-value figures such as Trump, Vance, Musk, Netanyahu, who did not attend. The suspects began providing support and resources to terrorists in May of 26 and took part in marksmanship and combat training. Proper's mother first alerted police after seeing him buy firearms and increase online talks. FBI Director Kash Patel said the planned attacks were stopped cold by the FBI and partners in a multi-state operation. Oh, wow. That's the scope. Now we zero in on one alleged sniper, Chandler Skaggs, in the charging document. 8 defendants facing the federal charges. All 8 men were named together. The latest, Chandler Skaggs of Chapmanville, West Virginia, was taken into custody this week. According to the affidavit, Skaggs was assigned to serve as one of the snipers. He was supposed to be picked up by the co-conspirator to travel to D.C., but after Proper's arrest, Skaggs reportedly told the group he remained willing to participate and arranged for another co-conspirator to transport him to the event. The indictment charges all 8 with 2 conspiracies, one to provide material support to terrorists and another to commit murder on federal government territory and to murder federal government official. So there is the list of those indicted and their ages. The breakdown shows there wasn't keyboard trash talk. It was assigned roles. Next, Homeland Security drops the detail. Corporate media won't touch. Prosecutors say the alleged ringleader is an illegal alien from Mexico.
There is no mission of greater importance to the Secret Service than the protection of our nation's leaders. And the work put into this investigation makes that point crystal clear. When the information came in, it was a great example of how layers of law enforcement can work efficiently together. Once we had the information that we needed, the Secret Service and federal and local partners were able to identify and lawfully interrupt a communication network that gave us a roadmap to a sinister plot targeting the White House complex. Our agents and support staff are always on alert. In this case, they worked around the clock and in a short window of time in order to mitigate and interdict this threat. I'm truly grateful for their tenacity. From here, the investigation and findings will be presented in court. We'll protect the integrity of that process, and any further comments will be made through official court filings. Lastly, I want to make very clear to the public that nobody is more aware of the threats that lurk outside of our doors than the Secret Service. Rest assured that this agency's vigilance and dedication to duty will continue to keep our nation's leaders and institutions safe.
The alleged ringleader, an illegal alien from Mexico. So DHS making it plain who allegedly led the plot. Investigators are spelling out how the attack was supposed to work. FBI details mass casualty plan, including explosive drones.
Through this investigation, we learned the group allegedly planned to carry out a mass casualty attack involving the use of drones, armed with explosives and firearms meant to shoot people fleeing in the crowds. Our command posts also included membership of the Secret Service and other partners to share information in real time and to help ensure no violence occurred at the White House UFC event or any other high-profile events.
So those details show exactly how the evil operation was. Next, DOJ lays out the charges, the training, and the gear.
The indictment charges all 8 men with 2 conspiracy counts. The first count is a conspiracy to provide material support to terrorists by way of money, firearms, ammunition, body armor, explosives, drones, medical and communications equipment, as well as personnel, with the knowledge and intent that those resources were to be used in preparation for and to carry out the murder of federal officers and employees in the course of an attack on a federal facility and the use of a weapon of mass destruction. That first conspiracy count is punishable by up to 15 years of imprisonment. The second count is a conspiracy to commit murder on federal government territory and to murder a federal government official, including the President of the United States, the Vice President of the United States, and members of Congress. That second count is punishable by up to a lifetime of imprisonment.
The illegal alien ringleader. DHS put it in all caps for a reason. They wanted nobody to miss what the regime media would love to blur out. An illegal alien helped lead a terror conspiracy against a White House event with President Trump there, alongside 7 co-conspirators, while the same open border machine spent years torching anyone who demanded enforcement. So look at the chain here. Stockpiling since May, threat uncovered 4 days before June 14th, drones packed for explosives, shooters positioned to hit people fleeing, and named targets including Trump, Vance, Musk, and Netanyahu. I keep coming back to that crowd detail because that is pure evil, not just murder, but engineered panic, corralling human beings into a kill zone. Trump stood tall. Secret Service, FBI, and local partners busted the cell. The people who enabled border lawlessness own every ounce of this disgrace. So the Justice Department needs maximum punishment for every co-conspirator. No soft plea deal, no media scrub job, no burying the illegal alien angle under a pile of cartel euphemisms. I want you to remember the date, June 14th, and the window, 4 days. That's how close this came. Close enough that investigators say these men had the gear, the plan, the communications network, and the intent to hit a White House crowd during Trump's UFC Freedom 250 event. We should be thanking the Secret Service, the FBI, and the local partners who moved fast enough to stop blood from covering that lawn, but gratitude's not enough. We locked down the border, we crushed political violence, we stopped letting legacy media wave away hatred of Trump like it's just another hobby. If they planned drones and sniper fire for a White House crowd once, patriots had better treat the next warning like the country depends on it. Just like you depend on us. That's why I set up this number for you. YouTube notifications are not going out, so I will send them to you directly. Thousands and thousands of patriots are already getting them. Are you? Make sure you get on this list and text raw feed to 844-840-4963. I'm not going to spam you. I'm going to send you a link to the channel so you can get caught up on the day's news and celebrate the next news network by going to the merch shelf below this video.
The system controls information. Information control is power. They don't want you to see this. The truth only survives together. They don't want this shared. Share this now.